Philosophers and scholars, both secular and religious, pontificate on the systematic nature of moral development. A divide exists in the establishment of moral code, a derivation from evolution or from divine intervention. With the rejection of divine intervention, morals are then established from the self, driven by primalistic and evolutionary urges. Humans are inept at temperance by nature and find themselves enslaved by their inability to moderate. Creating moral code from logic, not superstition, requires observation of what is tangible. We evaluate our world only through empirical study. The composition of the human body can be studied, and the behavior of man observed. Matters related to the soul are both literally and ideologically ethereal. The only obstacle in removing superstition is that humans gravitate towards obedience to authority. If not divine, then through the establishment of social hierarchy. This perpetuates literal and figurative slavery. Societies built by reason and science are forced to establish some form of moral code, as humans by necessity are self-serving and inherently designed towards the predilection of vices. These moral codes are derived primarily from religion, as science provides only the moral code of nature, survival of the fittest and fairness through brutality. Tolerance in Western society comes from Stoicism, but only few can abandon the self to achieve this. Commerce, the love of barter and gold, ironically, is a binding factor that facilitates tolerance for the common man. So throughout time, men of virtue and wisdom incite ideology of freedom to counter our continuous cycle of enslavement to gods or to men. These ideals are set forth into action through violence and bloodshed, only to inevitably be discarded by weaker generations nested in comforts for which their forefathers bled. And thus humans are doomed to the enslavement of will, whether it be to superstitious beliefs, authority of government, or to their own sensual urges. The true ideal of freedom can only be achieved on an individual basis, abandoning dependence on gods, governments, and primal urges. And as most will fail in this endeavor, with this knowledge the potential exists that one day our species can reach a stage of enlightenment. So how can we give ourselves hope now? We have to stop focusing on forcing enlightenment on a large scale and focus within. There are too many diverse belief structures to coerce collective change. Only by focusing on our own personal growth can we see large-scale progress, patiently, one at a time. Within secular and spiritual philosophy, objective truths exist. This is because truth itself is objective. Perception is what bends reality. The truth lies among the common wisdom that prevails across different ideologies. Once you expand your knowledge, it becomes easier to see these commonalities. Becoming rigid in our beliefs lead to a polemic sense of right and wrong, which create division. Getting out of your comfort zone to explore other ideas is the only way to discover moral truth. Allowing others to search for their own moral truths will make their growth more meaningful. Humans are by nature stubborn. Coercing others pushes irrational, defiant behavior. Lead only through example, not through manipulation or force. One who lives in truth will naturally attract people. Identify your own biases, for they inhibit your moral development. Instead of challenging others, challenge yourself. Are your beliefs causing disruption in your life? Once you tap into truth, you'll find your place in the cosmos, and a feeling of tranquility washes over you. If there's anything that's been discussed in this video that you want to hear more about, leave a comment in the comment section. Thanks for listening, and take care.